The Eastern Panhandle is home to teachers and healthcare workers, farmers and fishermen, servicemen and women, golfers, bicyclists, and people who love the outdoors. Where we call home isn't any one thing, so we're not either. At Rosedale Funeral Home and Cemetery, we are honored to help you plan a celebration of life that reflects one's individuality.
Our trusted local team is here to see that your wishes are honored and that your special story is told.
The following is a special sports broadcast presentation of Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg.
Play ball! It's time for the excitement of American Legion Baseball, featuring the Berkeley Post 14 Hornets.
Myers with the pitch, swung on and missed. Jason Myers gets the last out, and the Berkeley Post 14 Hornets are the state champions of American Legion Baseball in West Virginia.
Let's go live to the field and join our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team.
Welcome to P.O. Faulkner Park here in Martinsburg, West Virginia, getting you set for the Area 4 tournament here in the state of West Virginia for American Legion Baseball. On Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10, Dylan Bishop and Tyler Strine with you on the call this evening. Kyler High back at the studio. Colton Musgrove, our on-site producer tonight, and behind the TV 10 cameras, Ethan Elliott and Brady Masters. This will be Post 14 and Post 64, Berkeley Post 14 Hornets here in Martinsburg, and Potomac Valley Post 64. They're home of Kaiser, coming up here for what is essentially a best 2 out of 3 between these two teams. One today, one tomorrow, with the chance of a second one tomorrow if the teams split the 2 games. And Tyler, we've seen Post 14 do really well through this summer, 15-5 on the summer season, and some of that has been, without a full roster. They have about as close as you're going to get to full strength for a Summer Legion team. But we might have to break away from it here soon because there is going to be a special presentation of the color guard this evening as well as Andrew Wolf making a appearance here. The National Guardsman that was shot in Washington, D.C. He's here making an appearance with us with the color guard. Teams are managers are at home plate, exchanging lineups with the umpires. So we've got at least a minute here before, but the color guard is making its way onto the field, so that ceremony may be following here very soon. But, Tyler, it should be a good night of baseball.
It should be a good night of baseball. I wanted to go back to one thing between these two teams first. So
yes.
It was a 15-1 win for the Hornets earlier on the season, and then it was a 3-1 game. So that last game that they had was 3-1. So hopefully we'll be able to see some good baseball tonight. We're also looking forward to Berkeley Post 14 to be able to see Jameer Brown on the mound to start off tonight. So looking forward to that. I heard you were saying Dylan that he's only had about 3 innings. So
yep.
We'll see how well he feels. We saw a lot of him over the spring season. So looking forward to seeing him out there.
Yeah, when we get to the pregame interview with Trip Tobin, manager for Post 14, that's where you'll hear him say that Jameer has kind of been recovering, getting his body right over the summer. So he's only pitched 3 innings for Post 14, but he's going to be making the start here. As Tripp said, you want him to have more than 3 innings under his belt when the state tournament comes around. So while we have the chance, let's go ahead and fit in a 2-minute break, and when we come back, we'll be just that much closer to first pitch here from P.O. Faulkner Park. This is American Legion Baseball on TV 10, back in 2 minutes.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
When it comes to providing you with a better car buying experience, CMA's Toyota of Martinsburg takes it personally. Why? Because we're employee owned. That makes us neighbors. And good neighbors take care of each other. Come experience the honesty, transparency, and value we provide every customer, every neighbor, each and every day. At CMA's Toyota of Martinsburg, owners just care more about you.
Welcome back to P.O. Faulkner Park. After that 1-minute break, came back early as the teams make their way onto the field for a presentation with the color guard. As the color guard makes its way onto the field. It's post 14 and post 64 tonight from P.O. Faulkner Park, starting the Area 4 tournament here in West Virginia for American Legion Baseball. It's your national anthem for this evening.
Welcome everybody to the American Legion Area 4 2026 area tournament between
Here's Trip Tobin.
Potomac Valley, Post 64, and Post 14 Hornets. So, we have a very special guest with us today, our commander, Mike Emmel, from Post 14, and a really, really special guest, Andrew Wolf, from our local Air Guard. Andrew, of course, everyone knows his story. And he's always being presented a lot of things, but today he's going to do me a favor. He's going to present. He's going to be the presenter. He's going to give Mr. Emmel the 2023 American Legion State Championship flag from Post 14's State Championship run 3 years ago. And, of course, it's upside down for you. But we want to thank Andy for being here. Thank Andy for his service and his courageous fight from that fateful day in November. And we appreciate him as he presents the American Legion flag. This is what both these teams are after this year in 2026, and we really appreciate that. Andy also has a coin he wants to present to me because I never have a coin to flip, but I always have one from now on. So give Andy a hand for being out here. He is an inspiration to every one of us. His mother is an inspiration, and we thank Post 14 for their backing, and Mike Emmel, and we appreciate you guys. And Andy's supposed to come and say play ball, but he doesn't want to present, right? He's a presenter today, right? So I'll say it for you guys. Play ball!
All right, there we go. A nice little pregame ceremony with Andrew Wolf presenting Post 14 with their state championship banner from 2023. With that, it looks like the teams will take to the dugout quickly before just taking the field to start this one out. So while we have time here on the Hagerstown Ford pregame show, Hagerstown Ford revolutionizing the car buying experience. You can buy your next vehicle online and they'll deliver it to you, and if you don't like it, they'll take it back. Visit them online at fordofhagerstown.com. We'll get you a pregame interview that we had with Coach Trip Tobin of the Berkeley Post 14 Hornets.
Here's Trip Tobin of the Post 14 Hornets. Trip, as you guys went through this past weekend, getting yourselves ready for this area tournament coming up, kind of recap the weekend, how you guys are feeling coming into today's games.
Well, I thought we pitched pretty well, over the weekend. Our guys threw the ball well. We cut down the, base one balls. We were a pitch away from being in the championship game and still trying to, save pitching and save arms and not really overdo it. We had a lot of guys that were away for crazy different reasons. One last weekend away, but the guys fought, had a great game against the Blue Sox, and just absolutely come out and just put the game away early against Frederick. And then we had a great game with Funkstown. They're a great team, and come down to the last pitch, and that's been 3 games with them all. I think last 2 games with them has been 1-run games, so great games with them.
Coming into today with Potomac Valley, Post 64, you guys played them twice so far this year. 2 very different games, one by a lot in one by a little in the other. How do you look back on those games, comparing them to tonight, tomorrow? I know how many of your guys were available, how many of their guys do you know were available? How much can you take from those games?
Oh, you can't take too much from the first game. They were complete. They aren't the team that they are today. Of course, they certainly have a great team over there, great roster. I think most of them are here today, of course, and that made the trip down. That shows their dedication, their passion to play. So you look at the last game we played them, that 3-1 game. It was nip and tuck the whole way, and just luckily we got a ball over the fence. If not, we'd probably still be playing 1-1. So I expect a real tight ball game. They've got some great all-state players over there, some state champions over there. They know how to win. They know how to hit for sure, and they've got some great pitching over there. And so I expect that both these teams are going to go to state, but I think they're going to come out here and compete against each other. And I think they're going to be well represented in state. Area 4 will be.
Who are you throwing on the mound to start off tonight, and how do you approach the idea that you got to play him again tomorrow and potentially a third time?
Well, there's lots of arms on this team. We're going to throw Jameer tonight. He's only thrown 3 innings all year long. We've been kind of cruise control through a lot during the summer, and he's going to Shepherd as a 2-way guy. And his body needed to heal a little bit, and he may be a little bit rusty, but he's got to get that start for the state tournament. He's got to get up there and play in a game, a meaningful game. So we want to see how that goes. So I think it's very meaningful to get him up there and play in a meaningful game, and it's going to be hot, and it's going to be on turf there as well. So we want to get him out there and get him. We don't want to have him come into the state tournament with just 3 innings under his belt. Saying that, but also, who wouldn't want Jameer Brown on the mound? So it's a win-win for us. So hopefully he's not too rusty, and he can get out there and get it done. But either way, he's going to get in a little bit of work tonight and get lathered up, and we're going to make sure he's good to go for the state tournament. As far as tomorrow goes, the next 2 days could be a doubleheader. You have to look to Jacob and French, or Cumley, and to French and Peanut and Jet Gross and all those guys. They're going to have to come out and be ready to throw, and and Connor Smith needs to get out there on the mound as well. So we've got arms. We just got to get out there and score some runs and keep those guys off the base paths. They're a very good hitting baseball team with they score a lot of runs per game. They average a lot of runs per game. So hopefully our defense and our pitching can control that part of their game, and hopefully we can score a few runs off their pitching.
All right, Chip, thanks for the time. Good luck tonight.
All right, thank you.
And that was Trip Tobin interview brought to you by Trips Flooring. Not sure where to go or who to trust with your flooring needs? Call Trips Flooring at 304-229-7009 or online at tripsfloorsanding.com. And here's our first pitch of the game. It's a bouncer low and outside from Jameer Brown.
First pitch of the game, 7:02. Feels like it's 95 degrees. Feels like 103 out here.
It sure does feel like 103 out here. 1-0 from Brown, comes in for a strike with a fastball, make it 1-1. Our first pitch is brought to you by the Marius Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors, John Everson and Phil McCoy. Stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg or call 304-263-4343. 1-1 count Here to leadoff hitter Blake Jacobs, the shortstop for Potomac Valley, post 64. He fouls off the 1-1. Post 64's lineup, Potomac Valley starts off with Blake Jacobs, shortstop number 17, followed by Lanson Orndorff, the pitcher number 25. And in the 3 spot, James Vincel, third baseman number 44. We'll continue with that after this 1-2 pitch from Brown. And, that was close to hitting the zone for strike 3, but it was just inside.
High and inside right there.
Hunter Haar, the catcher, number 12, will hit cleanup for post 64, followed by Jackson Hare, second baseman number 5. Then Lanson Teislinger, center fielder number 22. Then Peyton Durst, left fielder number 1. Owen Reel, first baseman number 38. And rounding out the lineup is Mason Slade, the right fielder number 11. This is a ground ball over to Trace Huff at second base. He bobbles it, has to pick it up, and does still just barely get the runner in time at first.
That was a good recovery there by Trace, not to be able to get it, to be able to field that ball after bobbling it and then getting it back over to first base. He made a good throw over there to get the out.
That starts us off with 1 out. It's going to bring up Lanson Orndorff, pitcher for post 64. Big wind-up and fire from Brown to start this at-bat is a strike. Our starting lineups are brought to you by CMA Honda of Winchester, located at 3985 Valley Pike in Winchester. Call 540-686-1622 at CMA Honda of Winchester. Owners just care more about you. 0-1 from Brown. Blows it by Orndorff. Make it 0-2.
One thing that we're seeing in the second batter here for Jameer Brown is the fact that he's just pumping him with the fastball. So I was.
0-2. This is way outside. Make it 1-2.
So I just jinxed him there on what I was going to say without saying it, but he was taking command of that fastball. His off-speed pitches were kind of were the ones going for balls there that he needs to be able to have a bit more control over.
Brown winds up for the 1-2. This is one right by Orndorff. Swung through it. Strike 3. 2 outs here in the top of the first.
It's doing Jameer Brown things right there. We saw him most of the spring season just mow down hitters just like that. So good job on Jameer for getting that first strikeout of the game for him.
Jameer Brown pitching to Cole Smith behind the plate. That's starting battery for post 14. In the infield, it's Braden Oviedo at third, Wyatt McClintock at short, Trace Hoff at second, and Connor Smith at first. Outfield left to right, Marshall Derrick, Jet Gross, and Liam Healy. First pitch is a swinging strike 1 to James Vincel.
Got that off-speed pitch right in the middle of the zone there, so good job controlling that one.
Top of the first, brought to you by Brown Funeral Homes and Cremations, Robert Fields & Sons, a family-owned full-service funeral home proudly serving the area since 1880. The 1-0 is swung and missed as it breaks outside. 0-1, make it 0-2 now.
That looked like that was a slider that was set in low and outside and just broke outside the plate. Batter swung at that one.
0-2 and 2 outs, and that retires the side.
He went right back to that same pitch, too.
Breaking ball gets Vincel to chase, and that's 2 strikeouts for a 3-up, 3-down inning for Jameer Brown to start off the area tournament here for post 14. Scoreless after half an inning. We'll take a 60-second break. Come back with more American Legion baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
The Classical Christian Academy in Martinsburg is looking for joyful, dedicated primary lead teachers for grades K through 4 to join our vibrant team for the 2026-27 academic year. We're searching for educators who believe in more than just lesson plans, teachers who inspire a love of learning, build confidence, and weave biblical truth into every subject. At TCCA, we offer so much more than a classroom. With a 100-acre campus full of outdoor adventures, daily research-based agriculture classes unlike any school in the state, movement-based instruction, equestrian education, and bi-weekly student choice clubs, and a Christ-centered classical education that connects learning to real life. Our students don't just thrive, they flourish, and so do our teachers. If you're passionate about laying a strong foundation for young learners and want to be part of something bigger, we'd love to hear from you. Email your resume to Rachel Hull at RachelHullTCCA@outlook.com. That's Rachel Hull TCCA@outlook.com to apply or learn more. The Classical Christian Academy is located at 7192 Arden Noble Road, Martinsburg, West Virginia 25403.
We got
Bottom of the first here from P.O. Faulkner Park is brought to you by the Century 21 Modern Realty Results, Larry DeMarco and team. If you're looking for a home in the tri-state area, call the Larry DeMarco team at 304-263-4222. Starting battery for post 64, Potomac Valley, Lanson Orndorff will pitch to Hunter Haar behind the plate. Our starting batteries are brought to you by Cody's Auto Body at 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg. Family owned, offering superior customer service and great pricing for a job done by experienced and certified technicians. Call 304-901-4777. Post 14 coming up to bat for the first time in the bottom of the first. Their lineup goes like this. They're going to lead off with right fielder number 4, Liam Healy, followed by shortstop number 9, Wyatt McClintock. Starting pitcher today, Jameer Brown, will hit third, wearing number 12. In the cleanup spot, it's number 10, Braden Oviedo, playing third base. Behind him is first baseman number 20, Connor Smith. In the sixth spot, it's left fielder number 18, Marshall Derrick, followed by center fielder number 1, Jet Gross. In the eighth spot, it's catcher number 3, Cole Smith. And rounding out the lineup is second baseman number 5, Trace Huff. A good bit of pitching from Jameer Brown in the top of the first.
By the way, he finished that with 12 pitches, so he didn't pitch all that much there considering in the first inning. So he had a couple pitches early that didn't catch the zone, but he settled in after that second batter and just went his way through.
So for post 64, Lanson Orndorff will get ready to get his start after he struck out in the top of the first at the plate. Now he's going to look to strike some guys out himself. Liam Healy will step in to lead things off post 14. Healy's first pitch swinging, but it doesn't go super far. It could have been trouble, but Landon Tysinger from center field was able to get to shallow right center field to make the catch.
Yeah, that was just about in that alley where the triangle they call it, where nobody is at. So good job by the center fielder to be able to call off everybody and get that as he's coming in on the ball.
After this first pitch to Wyatt McClintock, give you the defense for post 64. McClintock lets it go for a strike. At third base for post 64 is James Vincel. Short, it's Blake Jacobs. Right side of the infield, Jackson Hare at second, Owen Reel at first. Outfield left to right is Peyton Durst, Landon Tysinger, and Mason Slade.
Pitcher stepped off there.
Short time as he steps back on. Here's the pitch to McClintock, right back at Orndorff. He's able to grab it before it goes in between his legs on the ground. Toss over to first for out number 2.
That's good fielding there by the pitcher to be able to get to that one after he finished in his wind up and finish the pitch, to be able to get that one and get the runner over.
So good pitching so far in the first inning for both sides, but pitcher versus pitcher can change that here for post 14's Jameer Brown at the plate, taking the first pitch inside.
Yeah, we saw over the spring season, Jameer also is a good batter as well. So we know that he's done well in the past. So we'll see how he does here.
The 1-0 hits the zone. As you heard in the pregame interview, Trip Tobin, manager of Post 14, basically said, throw that first game these two teams played out the window. It's 15-1 Post 14. The next pitch breaks low and outside for ball 2. Basically go more off of the second game where it was 3-1 Post 14, and he said if it wasn't for a home run, they could still be playing at 1-1. Ooh. And this is thrown, gets away from Orndorff, runs inside and hits Brown in the back.
Yeah, that one was high in the back. So a good one to actually take if you want to be hit by a pitch. At least that's in a good spot.
That's our first base runner of the day. 2 outs in the bottom of the first. It's going to bring up Braden Oviedo. Post 14 today in their I don't know if you want to call that gray or like a dark military green. I kind of think of it as more of a gray with a red, white, and blue American flag stripes in the numbers lettering.
See, I'm on the other end. I like the military green a little bit more.
I thought of it as military green, but I could see you calling it gray too. Maybe it's just the parts that are in the sun more. Here's the 0-1 outside to Oviedo.
But I absolutely love the jerseys because I loved how Major League Baseball on July 4th had the American flag on the numbers. So Post 14 is doing the same thing.
Yeah. Potomac Valley's got a patriotic sort of uniform for themselves, but this is, first of all, hit over on the ground to third base. Oviedo hits it to Vincel, who bobbles it, picks it back up, and throws it in time for out number 3. So Post 14 gets themselves a base runner with a hit by pitch, but that's all they've got to show for the first inning. That's all either side has to show for the first inning. As we go into inning number 2, still scoreless here from P.O. Faulkner Park. We'll take 60 seconds, come back with more American Legion baseball on TV 10.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Our top of the second inning on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10 is brought to you by personal injury attorneys Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Burke. Visit burkeandschultz.com. We play hardball. Still scoreless here from P.O. Faulkner Park as Berkeley Post 14 and Potomac Valley Post 64. Both by way of just being the 2 teams in the area this year. Both have already gotten themselves spots in the state tournament. But the area tournament still will decide seeding. Which side of the bracket are you on? As the area champion or the area runner-up? Dylan Bishop and Tyler Strine with you on the call. Kyler High back at the studio. Colton Musgrove, our on-site producer. Ethan Elliott and Brady Masters behind the TV 10 cameras. Potomac Valley back to the plate, sporting white uniforms with dark blue numbers with red outline, lettering as well. Very patriotic. Got an American flag on the back there, just like Post 14, the American Legion.
They both have the American Legion patch, too,
yep,
on the sleeve.
And with that, 4, 5, and 6 for Post 64 will come to bat for the first time. Hunter Haar, the cleanup hitter, will lead off the second inning. Jameer Brown starts us off with a strike. And you were telling me, Tyler, during the break, we were impressed by only 12 pitches in the first inning for Jameer Brown, but he got beat by Orndorff.
Orndorff only had 9.
Good pitching so far, and it's going to continue with this 4th batter for Post 64, swing and a miss on the 0-1 pitch.
But that also had factored Liam Healy went first pitch swinging.
Brown with the 0-2, fires it in, strike 3 looking.
That's a hard pitch to deal with right there. That was right there on the corner, the outside corner where you just can't do anything with that one as a hitter.
Rest versus rust is always a thing. Trip Tobin was telling us about how Jameer is only throwing 3 innings in game action this summer, but he's been pitching through the summer, just making sure he can keep his body right to play at Shepherd as a two-way player, and coming off of the high school season where he pitched a lot for Martinsburg. And so far, it looks like rest is definitely winning out over rust.
Well, I think right now what I'm seeing is that his fastball, as I saw in the spring season, is he's got a really running fastball. It really goes by fast, so that's hard for these hitters to make contact with at the high school level.
Jackson Hare, first pitch is fouled away. Here's the 0-1. He tries to check his swing. Only 2 umpires on the crew tonight. Second one down at first base. Can't really go to him for another look.
Yeah, it's 1-1.
It's 3 straight strikeouts for Jameer Brown going back to last inning. Here's the 1-1. Runs inside on Hare. He fouls it away.
Yeah, and as I can tell on that one, he was late on that fastball. So Jameer seeing that he's late on the fastball, so he's just making sure he's pumping in that fastball until they can catch up with it.
Yeah. Brown readies with the 1-2. Hare is able to get the bat on it, pulls it foul.
That time that went down the right field line there, out of play. But that tells me that he was on that fastball. So he was early on that fastball. So
he was looking for it, huh?
Yep. So now Jameer may have to throw in an off-speed pitch here.
Here's the 1-2. Looks like it gets low, maybe a little inside as well. Ball 2.
That was a fastball low.
Hare will be followed by Landon Tysinger. It's now 2-2. Next pitch from Brown, fastball, high and away. Runs the count full.
Good at bat here from Jackson Hare to be able to run it full. It's been fouling off a couple tough pitches, making Brown work out there.
First payoff pitch. Called strike 3. Catcher's blocking my view of the outside corner, but my gut was it was going to be a ball 4.
My gut was ball 4 as well, so he got the benefit on that call there.
That is 4 straight strikeouts now for Jameer Brown. 2 swinging to end the first and 2 looking to start the second. That'll bring up Tysinger. Center fielder number 22 for Potomac Valley. First pitch swinging. This is going to bloop over the head of Trace Huff, the second baseman, in the shallow right center field for a 2-out single. So not the best contact in the world, but hit him where they ain't and you can get on base.
Yeah, that was a little line drive that just dropped down there right over the second baseman's head. So good piece of hitting there on first pitch swinging.
It's Peyton Durst now to keep the inning going for post 64. Looks at the first pitch down the middle for a strike.
So Jameer's still been sticking with that fastball. We haven't seen as much off-speed pitches just yet.
Not a ton. Short lead at first for Tysinger. Big cut and a miss by Durst on the 0-1.
Off-speed pitches are also hard to get the grip on when it's this hot and humid out right now as it is. So that could be a point on why Jameer hasn't been hitting it just yet.
That's a good point there, Tyler. 0-2 is the count now. And keeping himself alive with a foul ball is Durst.
Also, with some rust as well, the fastball is the easiest ball to throw. So when you've only got 3, now he's 4 innings into his summer. Fastball is the easiest one to be able to control.
Brown gives a look over to first, still a very short lead for Tysinger. And the pitch, stabbed at and brought into the glove on a line before it hits the ground by Trace Huff. That ends the inning. Nice play over at second base. So 1 runner left on, just like our last half inning. We'll go to the bottom of the second, still scoreless. Here from P.O. Faulkner Park, after 60 seconds, we'll be back with more American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Not sure where to go or who to trust with your flooring project? And start with Trips Flooring, proudly serving the area for more than 25 years, specializing in floor sanding and refinishing, along with installation of new flooring, including hardwood, tile, vinyl, laminate, carpet, and the hottest trend in flooring, luxury vinyl, tile, and luxury vinyl plank. Are you on a budget? Check out their warehouse, cash and carry, or call 304-229-7009, or visit them online at tripsfloorsanding.com.
Digger grave, John Gilstrap wrote about us again. Calm down, big guy. He wrote about us stopping the FBI from killing its contractors. The book's called Scorched Earth. Everything about the American Jihad is in it, even the airborne attack on the campers. Gilstrap knows better than to reveal secrets like that. I'll talk to him. The book's done. People can pre-order it. We're toast when they find out what we did.
Scorched Earth by John Gilstrap. Order your copy today.
It'll be Connor Smith, Marshall Derrick, and Jet Gross due up for Berkeley Post 14 in the bottom of the second inning. Brought to you by the Berkeley County Health Department. Prevent, Promote, Protect. Offering public, clinical, and environmental services at 122 Waverly Court in Martinsburg. Still scoreless here in the first game of what will be 2 or 3 over today and tomorrow to decide who the Area 4 champion is. Connor Smith takes the first pitch outside, a bit low.
Yeah, it looked like an off-speed pitch. That probably was a curveball out there.
Lance and Orndorff. This is fouled off by Smith off of himself.
By the way, Connor Smith might be our most American player out there as we're seeing it, because he's from Washington High School, so they got that red, white, and blue up there in the batting helmet as well.
The Washington Patriot with the American flag stuff on, yeah. And 1-1 catches the outside black for strike 2. Orndorff will wind and fire, and Smith will foul this one straight back. So the winner of this one goes to tomorrow, only needing to win the first game to be area champion. If today's winner goes and drops that first game tomorrow, they'll play a second time tomorrow to play their tiebreaker. Best 2 out of 3. That 1-2 can't hit that outside black. Tried to break it onto the corner.
Yeah, curveball started a bit too outside and just hung out there just a little bit too much.
2-2, fastball up and away.
That runs the count full, 3-2.
Smith will step back in. Full count pitch awaits. He's going to swing at this one. It was low. He's going to chop it over towards first base. And able to field the position off the mound is Orndorff, getting the first, taking the toss from Reel, stepping on the bag for the out.
You had the second baseman and the first baseman almost there to try to make the grab. So good job by the first baseman to wave the second, so to get the ball, and then great job, as you said, by Orndorff to be able to get over there. Pitchers fielding their position to be able to get over there to make the out at first.
Derek swings through this one. Marshall Derek starting out in left field here today. And Derek's going to swing and miss at another inside fastball.
That looked like an off-speed slider a little bit.
Okay.
So I saw that one break. A little bit, and that's not going as fast as his fastball is either.
0-2. Orndorff can't get that one. It looks like it was a little below the knees. Make it 1-2.
That looked more like his fastball.
That was my thought too. 1-2. This is an off-speed pitch that stays up high. Ball 2.
Yeah, it's a slider that almost looked like that was going to hit Derek in the face, and then just broke in, but didn't break enough to be able to get in the zone.
Another breaking ball that runs well inside. Derek having to lean out of the way. Another 3-2 count here. So not quite the 9-pitch first inning from Orndorff. Derek fouls away the first 3-2.
Yeah, definitely making him work a little bit more, as Derek is actually wearing the post 14 batting helmet.
Step back in for another payoff pitch. Orndorff fires, and it's called strike 3 on the outer half. The outside corner sends down Derek for the second out, and Orndorff's first strikeout. So that means no one on and 2 outs for Jet Gross. First pitch to Gross is taken for strike 1.
It's one thing we've been seeing Orndorff doing when he needs a strikeout. He goes to the outside and gets that fastball in.
Foul tip from Gross. It's a quick 0-2 count.
Catcher almost had a hold of that one. It just went out of his glove real quick.
Gross steps back in, sporting the Jefferson maroon batting helmet. And some Jordan 1 cleats. This is grounded over to second base. Hare is going to be able to make the play pretty easily and routine for out number 3.
That was good with Gross busting down the line there, because he would have been safe if he wouldn't have taken it, if the second baseman would have taken his time.
Yeah, it's only so routine a ground ball can be when it's Jet Gross coming down the line. So with that, we're still scoreless after 2 full innings. We'll go to the third. Still nothing to nothing. Take 60 seconds, come back with more American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
When it comes to surgery, experience and innovation matter. At WVU Medicine, our board-certified surgeons use the latest robotic and minimally invasive techniques to provide better outcomes and faster recoveries. We offer a full range of procedures, including advanced hernia repair, anti-reflux surgery, breast cancer surgery, colon resection, gallbladder removal, skin cancer, and lesion removal. Trust the region's leader in advanced surgical care. Call WVU Medicine Surgery today at 304-596-2150.
You have choices when it comes to appliance repair, but before you call a large corporate chain, consider what BW Appliance brings to the table. BW Appliance Repair offers fast in-home appliance repair services to the eastern panhandle of West Virginia, including Jefferson County and Berkeley County. We strive for professionalism, dedication, and honesty. Call us today at 304-279-8858 to schedule immediate service. You can also visit us online at bwappliance.repair.
We move to the top of the third inning here from P.O. Faulkner Park and on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. It's brought to you by WVU Medicine, Berkeley, and Jefferson Medical Centers, leading healthcare here and everywhere. Pitchers having their way for the first full 2 innings here in the Area 4 tournament for American Legion Baseball in West Virginia. Dylan Bishop and Tyler Strine with you on the call. Kyler High back at the studio. Colton Musgrove, our on-site producer, and Ethan Elliott and Brady Masters behind the TV 10 cameras. 8-9-1 in the post 64 lineup. Due up to start the third. So the hitters really haven't been able to get anything at the plate, Tyler, through these for first 2 full innings.
Yeah, we've got a no-hitter going on right now for post 64. They're no-hitting post 14 here. But we do have a hit from post 64, but it's still early. So we'll see if the bats can wake up at some point in time soon. It is a warm night, so any contact can be a little bit more power behind it.
Yeah. Owen Reel will lead off the third for Potomac Valley. First pitch swinging, it gets past the glove of Brown. Huff gets it across his body. It's not going to be enough to get Reel busting down the line. Second hit for post 64.
Yeah, we had Huff just cut. He basically fielded that one right on second base, right before second base a little bit. That was going to be a really tough throw over there. That would have been like Derek Jeter-esque that you would have to do it with a Manny Machado arm over at third, and he didn't have that arm to be able to get the runner who was speeding down the line there.
So the bottom of the order for post 64, Mason Slade, the right fielder, number 11, is up. The lefty steps in and watches a fastball high and away. 1-0. Oviedo at third, coming in pretty shallow. A few steps in front of the bag. Slade didn't show bunt. Now he's calling time.
The runner Reel is not really doing too much out there, not taking a whole big lead out there. So when people have been getting on base, runners have been getting on base, they haven't been taking too much of a lead.
Brown with a little toss over the first. Wonder if they're trying to see if Slade will show bunt.
That's what my guess would be with the 9-hole hitter up. It would be a sacrifice. But Potomac Valley is not showing that currently.
Brown readies for the pitch. Slade, now look at the bunt. Takes the first strike of the at-bat.
Because I would also see that the runner on first, Reel, would take a step or two more towards second base. He hasn't taken that just yet.
Brown throws over to first again. And you're right, Tyler. He hasn't really been taking too big of a lead at first or dancing around much. But Brown, there now a third time, throws over. Trip Tobin did say we're trying to keep him off the base paths. He definitely sounded like Potomac Valley has a bunch of dudes that can run. Bunt gets squared around this time, but it's what looked like a pitch out.
Saw right before that Reel did make one more footstep towards second base there, so I could definitely tell bunt. So a sacrifice was looking like it was in the books there if the pitch was in the zone.
So you can tell post 14 feels like post 64 might be a little cagey right now about showing bunt. We're trying to move that runner over. 2-1, not looking to bunt that time. It's another one high and away for ball 3. I think we have seen this issue even in the spring where Jameer Brown might get that runner on first base into his head a little too much, at least when it's one of his first base runners.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that with the three pickoffs already that he's tried over the first.
Here's that 3-1 pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss. Makes it a 3-2 count.
Pitch count for Brown is already at 33.
This inning is definitely going to make him work here.
Well, this batter's making him work right now with the runner on first, as we were saying, as he just tried to pick him off again. So that's 4. He would have had a balk already at the major league or minor league level.
Here comes Brown to the plate, and the fastball is outside for ball 4. It's the first walk allowed by Brown. So that means we're back to the top of the order for post 64. Runners on first and second, no outs for Blake Jacobs. Jacobs has done plenty of damage at the top of this lineup. It's not the first time Post 14 has seen Jacobs in the area tournament.
He grounded out to the second baseman his first time up in the top of the first inning.
First pitch is too high for ball one. Connor Smith at first, playing in front of the base runner. Pitch from Brown. They're going to call that outside for ball two. That was a close one.
That was a close one. By the way, Post 14 could use that ground out to second base this time to maybe pull a double play. With nobody down in the inning so far.
Yeah, I'm sure that the Hornets would trade 2 outs for a runner getting the third if they had to. Jacobs swings through this one. It gets away from Cole Smith, and there goes the double play as the runners move up to call that a pass ball. Smith couldn't squeeze that fastball into the glove.
That seemed like that was a hard pitch to be able to do, though, because that looked like a foul tip.
I didn't hear the bat, but it was close as it was swung through. This is a definite foul ball as it's fouled over the Post 64 dugout.
A little late on that fastball there.
As Tyler mentioned, first at bat for Jacobs was a ground out to second. Orndorff awaits on deck.
By the way, Post 14 now has the infield in to try to keep that runner from scoring at third.
The middle infielders, particularly inside the bags, the second base bags, and this is hit on the ground and just past Wyatt McClintock, the shortstop. One scores, second will come around as well. Potomac Valley opens up the first lead of the game, 2-0.
And that's the price that you pay sometimes when you put the infield in. When you drag the infield in, that's harder there for the shortstop to be able to make. When the shortstop might have had a play at first, at least to get the out there. Now you have 2 runners that came in to score there.
Yeah, that's the risk you take when you bring the infield in. You got less time to react to something like that, and less ground you can cover before it gets to you. Lanson Orndorff steps in, looks at the first pitch high for a ball. So it's now 2-0. Potomac Valley Post 64. With a runner on first and no outs here in the top of the third inning. 1-0 gets away from Brown. It would have hit Orndorff if he didn't just crouch out of the way.
That was his off-speed pitch, and as I was referencing earlier, it's kind of hard to be able to do that when it's this hot out here where you just don't get the grip on that as well as you want to.
Two is the count. Brown throws over to first. Jacobs at the top of the order for Post 64. Definitely a threat to run. This pitch to Orndorff fouled away.
Orndorff, last time that he was up, he struck out swinging.
That was the first of 4 straight strikeouts for Jameer Brown. But Post 64 has been able to get to him here in the third. Brown, another throw over.
And I think if I'm not mistaken, that this is kind of how Jameer is. That he kind of has those streaky times where he's like he'll mow down 4 guys in a row and then get a guy on, and then he'll focus on him too much and then struggle a little bit.
This is fouled away. So I don't think you're wrong on that, Tyler. As it's now a 2-2. Again, Brown only 3 innings pitched over the summer so far. He's on his 3rd inning of this one. Brown looks into the catcher and the pitch. This is on the ground towards second base. Huff goes to second, and it's off the glove of McClintock. It looked like he tried to snap that glove up to make the exchange before it got into his glove. And that puts runners on first and second, still no outs.
He was trying for the double play and hit the runner, so it hit Jacobs right in the back there.
It hit the runner, okay.
Mm-hmm. That's what it looked like to me. It looked like it hit the runner in the back and then went off to him and then went into the outfield. Fortunately for Huff, that didn't go too far into the outfield where the runner would go to third.
You got to call that one an error.
I've got an E4 on that one on Huff.
Brings up James Vincel. Runners on first and second, no outs. Strike on the inside corner.
Because Huff tried to rush it a little bit because it was going to be a close play at second. So when you rush that throw over there to second, that can happen
it was
right there.
Pretty slow grounder. I was kind of holding my breath at that decision to go for the lead runner. It was a close one, but then it ended up not having the play in the end. The next pitch is in low for ball.
But I like the confidence to try to go for him. So yeah. I like that play right there that he tried. Because we would rather have guys be too aggressive than lay back a little bit and let both runners go.
1-1. Vincel hits a single the other way into right field. Jacobs is going to get held up at third as they had to wait just a second to make sure that wasn't going to line into the first or second baseman's glove. And station to station, everyone moves up to load the bases with none out for the cleanup hitter, Hunter Hart.
We've got a mound visit now for post 14.
Yeah, this is not the inning Jameer Brown would probably expected from himself after the first two innings. He goes 3 up, 3 down in the first with 2 strikeouts. Starts out the second inning with 2 strikeouts. Gives up a first pitch single, but then forces a line out. So 2 quick innings. And now the third has been some trouble.
But I think one thing I would remind him as the pitching coach is just being like, hey, just treat this just like regular with nobody out there. Because your confidence has been really good. So you struck out a bunch of hitters without the bases loaded. No one's going to steal on you. Just look down that hitter and just try to create a strikeout, or don't let another run come in.
Bases loaded. Here's first pitch to Har. This is hit softly on the ground to short. Tossed to second for 1. Can they get 2? Safe at first. So post 14 tries to trade 1 run for 2 outs. They only get 1 out. Run comes home to score. Blake Jacobs making it 3-0 with now runners on the corners and 1 out.
So we're calling that one a fielder's choice. Shortstop to second baseman there. As now they've got 1 out in the inning. Post 14 does.
Brings up Jackson Hare, who struck out looking last time up. Swings at the first pitch, fouls it off. It looks like there's been a little bit of a directive for early count swinging for post 64. The first pitch is fouled off. This one will be outside for ball.
I think the biggest thing, though, in this inning is Jameer's just been focusing more on the runners than he has the batters, so he's gotten the runners into his head.
Brown readies and fires with the 1-1. Too high. Ball 2.
Jackson Hare struck out looking the last time.
2-1, another pickoff attempt by Brown. Got a courtesy runner for Potomac Valley for the pitcher, or the catcher, excuse me. I believe we have one at third as well for the pitcher, as the next pitch is a called strike.
It's at third base. It's Riggleman.
Looks like Luke Wolford over at first base.
Adam Riggleman.
First base. That is Riggleman over at third. I believe the courtesy runner at first is Wolford.
It's still Har, according to Game Changer.
They just haven't updated it yet. That's number 10 over there. I saw him make the shift out, the change out there. 2-2. This is low for ball 3. It's another full count. This has been a tough inning in terms of using up the pitch count for Jameer Brown, up over 50 pitches now, 53. I believe that puts him, this will now be the 27th pitch of the inning. It's fouled away after the first 2 innings combined. Jameer Brown threw 27 pitches.
He's now at 53 pitches right now, so you can definitely tell this has been a taxing inning for him.
Yep. That one being his 54th, so now double his pitch count already with only 1 down in the inning. And another payoff pitch coming here to Hare. Throw, swing and a miss. Blew the fastball by him a little high for out number 2. So Hare 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, and that's desperately needed there for Jameer Brown.
That's the strikeout he definitely needed. So as you were saying, just pounded him right there with the fastball and told him to go hit it, and he just couldn't.
Landon Tysinger up now with runners on the corners and 2 outs. Already 3 runs up on the board for post 64 of Potomac Valley.
By the way, we had a better timeout right there.
Yep. He steps back in. Here's the pitch from Brown. That's going to hit the zone to start us off 0-1.
Just pumping that fastball in there.
When we flip back to the other side, it'll also be 8-9-1 for post 14, like we started this inning for post 64. They've nearly batted around. This is the 8th batter this inning, and there's another swinging strike. Make it 0-2. Brown brings it into the glove. Shakes yes as catcher. Runner goes. This is fouled away.
One thing as well, that Brown hasn't actually done any of his off-speed pitches for a while. He's just been throwing straight-up fastball for a while here. So he's kind of been like, oh, I've got the fastball right now. That's all that's working for me right now, so that's what I'm going to throw. Which, when you know, as post 64, if you know the fastball is coming, you can easily be able to look that and then see what you can do to drive it.
0-2. Runner will go again. Ball low. And catcher's indifference lets the runner make his way to second. Now the count's 1-2. Here's the pitch from Brown. That's fastball. Overthrows it a bit. Comes in low.
But honestly, that may be playing into Brown's actual wheelhouse there, because he focuses on that runner on first too much, where it's like if you take second, then you don't have to worry about that runner on second.
2-2. It's now runners on second and third. And here's another one. Looked pretty much just like the last one.
So that might have been what the pitching coach was telling him, on just being like, hey, don't worry about that runner on first. He'll just go over to second. I just want you to focus on the batter right now.
Yeah, I'm not a pitching coach, obviously, but that's something that I think of when I see Brown sometimes maybe wants to throw over there to first too much. Swing and a miss on the full count pitch. Swung through for strike 3 and out number 3. So still add 2 more strikeouts to Jameer Brown's total, make it 6 through 3 innings. But in the third, 3 runs for Potomac Valley is our first runs of the game. So we go to the bottom of the third with Post 14 trailing by 3 in this opening game of the area tournament for American Legion Baseball. And we'll be back with more American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10 in 60 seconds.
Life is evolving. Over the past decade, the way we do almost everything has changed. Get on your phone, see something you like, click on it, and it shows up at your door. Why should the way you have your car serviced be any different? Why waste your time going to a dealership service department when Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to you? They service all makes, all models, and offer full parts and labor warranties. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to your door or office and service your vehicle while you're doing what you need to be doing, conducting that business meeting or mowing the lawn. Why take time out of your busy schedule when you don't have to? Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet's friendly, knowledgeable staff will come to you where you live or where you work for full service maintenance, from oil changes to tire rotations, brakes, batteries, multi-point inspections. They handle it all. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet is committed to delivering the best of the best to their customers. Trust them to service your vehicle where you're at home or at work. Skip the time-consuming and terminal wait at the dealership. Schedule your appointment at fordofhagerstown.com or HancockChevy.com.
To do. Back for the bottom of the third on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10 is brought to you by the Dignity Memorial Rosedale Funeral Home and Cemetery. Attention to detail like no other. Visit dignitymemorial.com. Post 14 has a deficit to make up for the first time today. They'll step in with 8, 9, and 1. Cole Smith, Trace Huff, and Liam Healy as they trail 3-0. Strike is taken. So we start at the bottom of the third. Again, the loser of tonight's game will have to win 2 in a row tomorrow if they want to be the area champion. Next pitch in for a strike, 0-2. Again, this is bragging rights and seeding in this area tournament today and tomorrow. Both teams are, by virtue of being the 2 teams in the area, are through to the state tournament. And here's a base hit by Cole Smith on the 0-2 to open up the bottom of the third.
That's good 2-strike hitting. So especially when you go down 0-2, that can be really difficult to be able to manage. So that's a good job at the approach on just being like, hey, I'll just hit anything that's in the zone there. And he just whacked it out there to left field, right beyond the shortstop and third baseman there, right through that hole and right out there. And we've got our first base runner and first base hit for Berkeley Post 14.
Yep, that ends a 2-inning no-hitter for Lance and Orndorff. As looked like Brett Pedersen, a courtesy runner for the catcher Cole Smith. First pitch into Trace Huff is a strike. Orndorff throws this one foul and away. If at any point tonight I do like I just did a few seconds ago there and call him Landon Orndorff, it's because the varsity goalie in high school when I was the JV goalie was Landon Orndorff.
I guess we can forgive you for that.
Right? 0-2, fouled away again. As sound like somebody's got a muffler around or shooting fireworks over here or something.
And the sound guy made sure to do the break glass one too.
Huff will step back in with another 0-2 count. Lineup flips over after this one. Back to Liam Healy. Breaking ball. Huff is going to get this one, pushed it over to left field, just barely. Can't get it to land fair. And nearly snuck in there.
That was a good thought process, being able to go opposite field there and trying to get that one to land. It just landed just a bit out, just a bit past the foul line, foul territory, and we'll do it again.
He looked a little fooled by that pitch, but it almost worked out in his favor. It kind of broke inside on him. He swung out a little early or a little late. Nearly pushed it down to land fair in left field, but now he'll step back in with another 0-2. Swings and misses this one for strike 3. Second strikeout for Orndorff. So we're through 2 1/3 innings now for Lance and Orndorff, giving up just 1 hit, no walks, and struck out 2. Liam Healy flew out to shallow right center on the bottom of the first.
On the first pitch.
Yep, he takes the first pitch this time for a strike. Here's the 0-1. Another breaking ball that hits the zone for strike 2.
He's in the same hole Cole Smith was when he got his base hit there.
Pedersen, pretty short lead at first. Orndorff to the plate. This is hit on a line just past the glove of Blake Jacobs at shortstop in the left field.
That shortstop glove was almost there, so I was surprised that Pedersen went on contact there, because that was so close to being a catch right there. So yeah. Maybe.
It definitely hung up in the air there for a couple seconds. It looked like Jacobs was going to have a decent shot at it, but it was a foot or so past his glove.
I would say a couple inches.
You know what? Yeah, it wasn't much. It probably was less than a foot. So Wyatt McClintock's going to step in now with runners on first and second and 1 out, taking the first pitch low for a ball.
For those of you listening on radio, Pedersen was just out a little bit. The shortstop was actually closer to second base than Pedersen was, so they're definitely playing to be able to get that runner at second out right now, if they want.
There's a big hole open on the left side of the infield to hit it the other way if McClintock wants. This is a breaking pitch that hits the zone, making it 1-1. McClintock, a little frozen by. He gave a little nod afterwards, like, okay, I see what you're doing. There's 1-1. It's another breaking pitch. Orndorff's been going for that outside corner with his breaking ball a good bit, trying to get that to just break right onto the plate.
We're trying to get that call in the outside corner. I think Jameer has been getting that call a little bit because he's got that fastball over there.
Orndorff makes a play over to second, trying to pick off Pedersen. Nothing doing that time. Count now 2-1 to Wyatt McClintock.
So this one, what you want McClintock to be able to do is hit that gap there between center and right field to be able to drive in the runner. Makes it easier to drive in that runner.
This is fouled away, make it 2-2. And Jacobs holding Pedersen close to second base, opening up a chance for an opposite field single. And middle infielders in general playing it pretty close. Hare is, he's walking back over towards second base now, but he's playing almost to the turf at the start of the outfield, and a little closer to second than just normal depth. This is fouled off of the ankle of McClintock. So shake this one off.
I've been interested with the shortstop Blake Jacobs, where he's basically been with Pedersen. Like they almost slap fives out there with how close they are.
Yeah, they're not letting Pedersen feel comfortable out there at second. And Pedersen is kind of backing up a little bit. Play a little wide of the base, as this is a low 2-2 pitch.
But McClintock's making them work, so that's good on McClintock for being able to hold on to this and getting a good AB here at 3-2.
Yep, works it to a full count. As Orndorff's pitch count is getting up in this third inning as well, like Brown on the other side. But another strikeout for Orndorff on the 3-2. McClintock swings through it.
So far this inning, and I might have the announcer's jinx on this one, but we've had a hit, a strikeout, a hit, a strikeout.
Well, Jameer Brown hopes that the trend continues. He was hit by a pitch first at bat. He wants the hit to go his way this time. He swings at the first pitch, but it runs in on him, and he's only able to get it over to first base. Owen Reel fields it on the ground and just steps on the bag for the third out. Post 14 gets 2 runners on base, but they can't get them home with their first 2 hits. So they still trail 3-0 as we go to the 4th inning. We'll come back after 60 seconds with more American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
The Eastern Panhandle is home to teachers and healthcare workers, farmers and fishermen, servicemen and women, golfers, bicyclists, and people who love the outdoors. Where we call home isn't any one thing, so we're not either. At Rosedale Funeral Home and Cemetery, we are honored to help you plan a celebration of life that reflects one's individuality.
Our trusted local team is here to see that your wishes are honored and that your special story is told.
Remember all the sports we played when we were kids?
Oh yeah, swimming, tennis, basketball,
Football, soccer, track. I loved winning.
I still do.
Our competitive spirit is still going strong.
But now we use it to win for our clients. If you've been hurt in almost heaven,
call the Sevens, 304-777-7777.
SkinnerWins.com.
Our top of the 4th inning is brought to you by the Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers, representing accident and injury claims for over 50 years. Go to SkinnerWins.com. Still 3-0. Post 64 of Potomac Valley and Kaiser leading the Berkeley Post 14 Hornets here on Post 14's home field, P.O. Faulkner Park here in Martinsburg, West Virginia, as we kick off day 1 of 2 for the Area 4 tournament here in the state of West Virginia, American Legion Baseball. Dylan Bishop and Tyler Strine with you on the call. Kyler High back at the studio. Colton Musgrove, our on-site producer, and our cameramen this evening, Brady Masters and Ethan Elliott. You're tuned in to us on Talk Radio WRNR, TV 10, Comcast in Berkeley and Jefferson counties, Channel 10, and the WRNR TV YouTube channel. You can catch all of our live sports broadcasts on those platforms. Sometimes it depends on the day. Like tonight, we're on the radio because the Nationals are in the All-Star break. When the Nationals pick back up, you'll be able to catch their games on the radio. 106.5 FM, AM 740. Post 64 of Potomac Valley will try to extend their lead here in the top of the 4th with 7, 8, and 9 in the order. Peyton Durst leads us off. Squares around the bunt, and it's a well-placed one. Brown off the mound, gets it, fires it, out at first. Whew, that's... I'm all the way here in the press box, but if I were first base umpire, there'd be a run on first right now.
That was definitely a close call over there, so I'm glad I'm not him. That I was looking at that. I was personally looking at how Jameer Brown was fielding that one because I knew it was going to be a close play over at first.
It was a very good play over from the mound by Jameer Brown. It was a bang play, and it's an out. So none on and 1 out. So we go to Owen Reel, who started the strong 3rd inning for Post 64 with a hit. He this time will ground it over to Trace Hoff at second and ground into out number 2.
That's 2 quick outs there already on the first 2 pitches of the inning. Jameer Brown couldn't ask for a better start to the inning than that, especially with the pitch count up here at 63 pitches.
Yeah,
well, 64.
He doubled his pitch count in that 3rd inning, but he has gotten himself back on track with a quick 2 outs here in the 4th. Mason Slade drew a walk before coming around to score last time in that last inning. Takes first pitch outside for a ball.
Yeah, that was your fastball right on the outside, right outside there. Was not on the corner, was a little bit off the black there, so definitely a ball.
Foul ball on this one, making it 1-1.
Dylan, that was close to hitting you if the backstop wouldn't be there, if the netting wasn't there.
That one woke me up a little. 1-1 count now. Here's the windup and the pitch from Brown. This is popped up. Wyatt McClintock has to take a couple steps back into shallow center. Makes the catch, flips it to Jet Gross. And that retires aside. Quick 1-2-3. Just what the doctor ordered for Jameer Brown. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th, still 3-0. Potomac Valley post 64 with the lead. For 60 seconds, we'll be back with more American Legion baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Classical Christian Academy in Martinsburg is looking for joyful, dedicated primary lead teachers for grades K through 4 to join our vibrant team for the 2026-27 academic year. We're searching for educators who believe in more than just lesson plans, teachers who inspire a love of learning, build confidence, and weave biblical truth into every subject. At TCCA, we offer so much more than a classroom. With a 100-acre campus full of outdoor adventures, daily research-based agriculture classes unlike any school in the state, movement-based instruction, equestrian education, and bi-weekly student choice clubs, and a Christ-centered classical education that connects learning to real life. Our students don't just thrive, they flourish, and so do our teachers. If you're passionate about laying a strong foundation for young learners and want to be part of something bigger, we'd love to hear from you. Email your resume to Rachel Hull at RachelHullTCCA@outlook.com. That's Rachel Hull TCCA@outlook.com to apply or learn more. The Classical Christian Academy is located at 7192 Arden Noble Road, Martinsburg, West Virginia 25403.
The bottom of the 4th on TV 10, Talk Radio WRNR, is brought to you by the Mansion Injury Law Group in Martinsburg, where it's about seeking justice for you. Go to mansioninjurylaw.com. Post 14 Hornets, Berkeley County, Martinsburg, are trailing 3-0 here as we are halfway through this game to start off the area tournament. American Legion Area 4 in West Virginia. Bragging rights, a banner, perhaps, and seeding in the state tournament on the line. Both of these teams will be a part of the state tournament for American Legion. We just have to decide who the area champion is. They can be in the better spot in the seeding in the bracket.
You've got Brandon Oviedo starting off. Took a strike, his first pitch of the at-bat.
And good eye from Oviedo to watch ball one pass him by, 1-1. Braden Oviedo grounded out to third base, first time up. Swings and fouls off the 1-1, make it 1-2. Oviedo, Connor Smith, and Marshall Derrick due up. Orndorff lines and fires and blows it by Oviedo for strike 3. Orndorff is honestly looking better as the game goes on. At least in terms of striking guys out, that's his 4th. 2 last inning, now 1 to open up this one.
Yeah, as you said, he's settled in really well and has been pitching well.
Connor Smith, first pitch swinging, hits it the other way, past Blake Jacobs and into left field. Opposite field single Puts post 14 on the bases with one out.
That was good first pitch swinging right there. Get a fastball right there. Just push it out.
I will say post 14 has gotten their first 3 hits of the game in now this inning and the last one.
Take some time to look at a pitcher for the first time and get used to him.
Second time at bat for Marshall Derrick. This could be 2. There's 1 at second. 6-4-3. Double play. And just like that, it ends the inning. And that's a quick 3 batters. Post 14 can only muster. We go to the 5th inning, still 3-0. Potomac Valley, post 64 with the lead, will take 60. Come back with more American Legion baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Car accident? Get more with Mansion. If you've been hurt in a car accident, time is critical. You've got car repairs, legal deadlines, and medical treatment that can't wait. The sooner you call Mansion Injury Law, the sooner we can help you. Because memories fade, evidence gets lost, and photos can't be retaken. You only get one chance. Let us help you make things right. Get more with Mansion. Call 1-800-557-4LAW.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
The top of the 5th inning on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10 is brought to you by CMA Chevy and Toyota of Martinsburg, all in one convenient location, 650 Foxcroft Avenue. CMA, where owners just care more. Top of the lineup for Potomac Valley, post 64, Jacobs, Orndorff, and Vincel. Blake Jacobs, last time up, got himself a 2 RBI single. That is what gave post 64 the first lead of the game.
By the way, we'll see if post 64 can actually put together an inning here, because last inning it was 1-2-3. And post 14 also got a base runner on, but they basically went down without a fight either with 1-2-3. So we've seen both 1-2-3 innings coming up here. And we'll see if Brown can do the same thing they did last inning with a 1-2-3.
Blake Jacobs rocking the Frankfurt Falcons batting helmet. Him and Orndorff at the top of the lineup for post 64, both of Frankfurt High School in Ridgely, West Virginia. Strike 1. The Fighting Abby Beemans, as I would like to call them. 0-1 count to Jacobs, who is now 1 for 2 on the day. Ground out and the 2 RBI single. This is grounded over to Oviedo, who has to pick it, double clutch on the throw, but it's still in time for the out.
Yeah, it was good. That was a good play by Oviedo to be able to just field that cleanly, give himself enough time for a double clutch, because that ball is wet right now. So your sweat that you have on your hand, it's going to be hard to be able to grip and to throw it over to first base really well. So good job by Oviedo there.
Jameer Brown got exactly what he needed in the 4th inning after a tough 3rd inning, a 1-2-3 inning. And now gets himself first out, retiring the leadoff hitter.
That was the 70th pitch of Brown's outing today.
That was a first pitch ball low to Lanson Orndorff. Strike taken to follow, 1-1.
Looked like he almost put that in the same place there. He had that low strike there that was just called.
Brown rocks and fires. Bounces it low and outside.
That looked like an off-speed pitch a little bit there.
Yeah, it just seemed like it got him away from him a bit. Orndorff struck out swinging in the first, reached on an error in the third. And Orndorff hits this one to left center field. Jack Gross is going to have to really get after it, and he does, to track down this one for the second out. That speed out there in center field comes in handy.
That's definitely great closing speed out there. Gross is definitely a good center fielder with his wheels on there, so not a lot's going to be dropping out there in center with him out there.
James Vincel comes up, third baseman for post 64. A strikeout and a single for him in the first and the third. That's kind of seems how it's gone so far. If you face Jameer Brown in the first, you might have struck out. Second, too. If you face him in the third, you might have gotten a hit. First pitch to Vincel, fouled away.
By the way, isn't it nice to just watch baseball tonight? Like, there's no major leagues on, there's no minors on, so my baseball craving is through the roof at this point in time. Being like, we just had the All-Star game last night in the major leagues, but I'm like, I crave baseball all the time during the summer, so it's really nice to have a baseball game on tonight when the majors and minors are off until Friday.
Yeah, and that's what lets us be on the radio here tonight, too, with the Nationals off. Strike two is taken, 1-2.
Some of your amateur leagues are also playing tonight. I think the American Association of Professional Baseball is hosting their All-Star game on MLB Network tonight.
1-2. That runs inside and hits Vincel. So now both of these starters have hit a batter. But Brown was hit himself in the first inning. And now he sends Vincel laboring a bit down to first base.
Yeah, that was also the lower back too, so that one definitely hurts a little bit more than Jameer's did in the upper back, where you've got a little bit more cushion up there on the top part of the back.
This brings up Hunter Haar. Struck out looking in the second, grounded into an RBI fielder's choice in the third. Grounded out with the bases loaded. Well, he reached base. Got an out at second base on that ground ball. It's 1-0 here. Brown delivers. This is hit high into medium deep center field. Gross doesn't have to go far for it. He brings it in for the third out. It's a 1-2 out base runner for Potomac Valley on the hit by pitch, but Jameer Brown immediately answers by sending down post 64. 78 pitches through 5 innings for Jameer Brown. Post 14 still trails 3-0. We'll take 60 seconds, see if they can dig into that deficit. This is American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
When it comes to providing you with a better car buying experience, CMA's Chevrolet of Martinsburg takes it personally. Why? Because we're employee owned. That makes us neighbors. And good neighbors take care of each other. Come experience the honesty, transparency, and value we provide every customer, every neighbor, each and every day. At CMA's Chevrolet of Martinsburg, owners just care more about you.
A DUI can be a life-altering experience. Put your future and well-being in the hands of someone who has spent 27 years defending citizens accused of driving under the influence throughout the state of West Virginia and hundreds of hours of training to be the very best for his clients in need. My name is Harley Wagner, and the Wagner Law Firm, West Virginia's DUI defense firm, is that place.
One click, real defense. Wagner Law Firm, WestVirginiaDUILawyers.com.
Bottom of the fifth from P.O. Faulkner Park, brought to you by Trips Flooring. Not sure where to go or who to trust with your flooring needs? Call Trips Flooring at 304-229-7009 or online at tripsfloorsanding.com. The home team, the Berkeley Post 14 Hornets, trail here in Martinsburg, 3-0 to Potomac Valley, post 64.
Also, lights are in now full effect with the sun basically down. Lights have been on for the last inning, so yeah. we've got some nighttime life now.
You could say that the 3-run lead for Potomac Valley so far is courtesy of the red, white, and blue. They're in their whites, they're in blue numbering and lettering.
Also, we're now out of our excessive heat warning at 91. Still feels like 99, though, out here right now. So still a hot one, everybody. As I saw earlier, we're the same temperature as Tampa, Florida. But at least they got the water down there. We don't have a lot of water around here to be able to go into the ocean or anything, or into the Gulf.
Jet Gross steps in for his second at-bat, 7, 8, and 9 in the order. As ball one comes in, I guess either side when they score runs could say that they come courtesy of the red, white, and blue with tonight's uniforms. 1-0, taken for a strike.
Gross grounded out to second base, but he almost beat that out the last time because of his speed. We've been seeing his speed, which has been a great tool for him.
1-1. This is fouled away. You can tell at third base, Vincel playing even with the bag. Watching out for any attempted drag bunt, but now with 2 strikes, he's going to back up into regular depth. 1-2, fouled away.
Coming in late on these foul balls are going to the left, so he's been late on these balls.
It's Gross, Smith, and Huff due up. Here in the bottom of the 5th. 1-2, catcher holds it there, trying to get that call on the outside corner. Can't get it.
As you were saying earlier, he's been doing that all game. So he's been trying to get that curveball right there on the outside, middle part of the plate.
2-2 fastball runs in, fouled over towards the Hornets dugout.
Yeah, watch out, teammates. He's about ready to hit you.
I think that was Marshall Derrick trying to reach up and grab that one.
Not sure how much I'd want my guys to be able to do that.
Actually.
Don't need an injury at this point in the season.
Orndorff throws. This is hit on the ground over to Owen Reel. He can just jog over to first, step on the bag himself for out number 1.
That was just a bouncer right up there. Easy play for the first baseman to be able to make and just take it over himself for the out. Gross couldn't even do anything even if he sped on over there, even if he 100-yard dashed it over there to first.
Yeah. Cole Smith comes up, singled his first time, swings through this one for strike 1.
That looked like a little bit of an off-speed pitch where maybe a slider just dropped off the table just a tad bit. Smith looks like he was on top of that one.
0-1, Smith gets this one, and a jump and grab by Blake Jacobs for the out.
That was a good play. That was a good play by Jacobs, but that also was made easier by the fact that ball didn't go off. That ball was probably 50, 60 mile an hour off.
It floated a little.
It floated, so it's an easier play to be able to do that than some of these that have gone off the bat probably at 90 miles an hour or something like that off the bat.
It might. I believe it was it? It might have been Healy's first hit, not Smith's. That it was very similar as a first pitch strike comes into Trace Huff. Jacobs at short jumped up to grab it, and it went just a few inches away from
that one.
His
felt
glove.
like that was probably a little bit faster than this one that we had here.
Orndorff responding well to the next batter, Trace Huff, here at the bottom of the order with 2 strikes taken. It's 0-2. And now he'll fire a fastball in. It's hit the other way to third base. Vincel's right there to make the throw across the diamond for the out. And post 14 goes 3 up, 3 down. Orndorff finding a groove. He's at just 64 pitches through 5 innings. And Potomac Valley still has the 3-0 lead. We'll take 60 seconds, come back with the 6th inning. This is American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Not sure where to go or who to trust with your flooring project? And start with Trips Flooring, proudly serving the area for more than 25 years, specializing in floor sanding and refinishing, along with installation of new flooring, including hardwood, tile, vinyl, laminate, carpet, and the hottest trend in flooring, luxury vinyl, tile, and luxury vinyl plank. Are you on a budget? Check out their warehouse, cash and carry, or call 304-229-7009, or visit them online at tripsfloorsanding.com.
My kids, you know I want the best for you, don't you? We need to have a conversation.
End-of-life planning is no one's favorite discussion, but the relief of having everything in place when the hour of need arrives is a gift. Give it to your family. Plan ahead with us.
Brown Funeral Homes, a leading provider of cremations, invites you to explore the many flexible options of cremation. From environmental considerations to the benefit of greatly reduced cost, it may be the perfect answer for your family. Online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
The top of the 6th inning on TV 10, brought to you by Parsons Ford at 1400 Shepherdstown Road and online at parsonsford.com. They became number 1 by making you number 1 first. Parsons. Jameer Brown, 79 pitches through his first 5 innings of work. Back to the mound, trying to keep this at just 3-0. The post 14 trails here from P.O. Faulkner Park. Dylan Bishop, Tyler Strine with you on the call. Kyler High back at the studio. Behind the cameras, Ethan Elliott and Brady Masters. And our on-site producer, Colton Musgrove. Next inning up for post 14 will be the top of the lineup after 7, 8, and 9 went 3 up, 3 down. For Potomac Valley, they bring up 5, 6, and 7. Hare, Tysinger, and Durst. Jameer Brown, leadoff hitter, will be a bit of a sight for sore eyes if he wants to keep his groove going, as he has struck out Jackson Hare twice in his 2 at-bats.
Strike out looking the first time and then struck out swinging the second time.
First pitch to Hare, high and away. Both of these pitchers through 5 innings have only given up 3 hits. Jameer Brown with 6 strikeouts, Orndorff with 4. Each pitcher has hit 1 batter. Brown added in another walk. From there, the difference is the 3 runs, as it's now 1-1 to Hare. This is on the ground. Connor Smith has to toss it to Brown. Will he get there in time? Umpire says yes. Gets the out. Brown taps on the bag just in time.
Yeah, that was another close one over there at first base.
My first look at it live, I couldn't even tell if Brown had even stepped on the bag. Honestly, I was like, did he actually even step on it? G 3-1 gives us our first out. Brings up Tysinger, a single in the second, strikeout in the third. And that one's a foul ball.
So typically on the scorer's table, you actually don't need to put that G in there because a 4-3 would just symbolize that it would be a ground ball.
That does make sense.
So you don't need to write that G in, but if you want to keep track of it, sure.
Helps me, I guess. Here's one. Tough hop for McClintock. Almost throws it away after picking the ball up. Got caught in between on trying to field that one. And Tysinger reaches first.
I'm going to give him the base hit on that one.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna do that because that would have been a hard throw over there to get the runner at first.
Would have been.
Even if he would have fielded it cleanly, he was deep. He was deep there in the hole.
Game changer goes with error.
That's okay. I'm good with that, too, because I was on the fence between, like, 60-40 sort of thing with my call.
Peyton Durst. Or no, this is a pinch hitter, actually. It's going to be Lucas Wolford.
So I'll go ahead and switch my book to an E6 on that one.
You've seen Wolford as a courtesy runner. Now he steps up to bat here in place of the 0-2 Peyton Durst. Tries to bunt, but hits the top of the bat and just goes straight back into the net. Makes it 0-2. Here's one out and a runner on first.
Yeah, trying to sacrifice that runner on over to second.
Seen it a couple times tonight, post 64. Not trying, and when they want to bunt, won't show it on the first pitch. It's now 0-2 though. Brown delivers. That's another strikeout. Number 7 on the night for Jameer Brown. Swung through.
That's out number 2.
2 down and a runner on first. Now for Owen Reel. Brown gives him a fastball that he looks at for strike 1. Reel singled to start the third. He was the first run to come across and score, and grounded out to second base in the 4th.
We also don't have much of a lead at first either.
Another big cut. Barely fouls it into the glove. 0-2. So if you could just so far wipe off that third inning from Jameer Brown's record, this would be a total pitcher's duel. The 0-2 low and outside.
But unfortunately, that's how the game goes. Sometimes it's one inning that unravels a team.
Yeah. Got to make the most of your base runners when you get them. That's the moral of the story, I say. 1-2. This is chopped over to the third. Oviedo runs in for it. A double clutch again, but once again, still gets it in time to first. So still a quiet half inning. Outside of the top of the third with 3 runs. That's all we've seen so far. 3-0 Potomac Valley post 64. They'll try to hold on to that as post 14 just has 6 outs remaining to get back in this one. This is American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilston Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
Top of the lineup for post 14, due up here in the bottom of the 6th from P.O. Faulkner Park. The Hornets running out of time to get back into this one so they don't have to try to win 2 in a row tomorrow to be the area champions.
Wolford does take his place out to left field, so our defensive substitution stays in left field.
And staying on the mound is Lanson Orndorff, who has given up nothing but 3 hits so far. He's plunked 1 batter outside of that. The success for Post 14 has been zilch.
Liam Healy's up at bat.
He has one of the 3 hits for Post 14. It was his last at-bat in the 3rd. Flew out to center in the 1st inning. He's going to yank this one over to first base. It's foul.
By the way, if I can say one good thing about Post 14 defense, so on the offensive side, even though last half inning you said if they only didn't have the 3rd inning, it's like if you can bounce back as a team after a bad inning like that and then go, that'll give you momentum towards the future.
Grounded over to first. Said this a lot tonight. Owen Reel takes it to first himself, steps on the bag for the out. We've had a few plays like that. I think I'll look through here. I believe that's the 4th ground ball over to Reel. And that's what has helped Orndorff stay at now just 67 pitches through 5 1/3.
You know, Orndorff's been good because he hasn't created a lot of hard contact. It's been a lot of that soft contact stuff that we've been seeing. So he hasn't had a whole lot of hard stuff. So the stuff that does get out there is soft contact. And that's one thing. Sorry,
Wyatt McClintock steps in.
And that's one thing that scouts look at. MLB scouts are looking at, college scouts are looking at being like, hey, let's get that soft contact there.
Yeah. First pitch from McClintock.
Because if you aren't a pitcher with a high fastball like Jameer Brown has sort of thing, like with top velocity, you're looking at guys with soft contact.
Ball outside makes it 2-1 to McClintock.
I want to say that's how the Tampa Bay Rays do baseball. A little bit. We always see the Rays don't have much of a budget, and they're still they still play good.
Here's your 2-1. Fastball just off the outside. 3-1. McClintock ground out and a strikeout so far tonight, and on the 3-1, it's out of the zone, and that's the first walk of the night. Base on balls for Lanston Orndorff.
I was wondering when the DJ was playing walking in Memphis between innings whether we were going to have a walk or not here in the bottom of the inning.
There hasn't been many tonight.
You
got one from each pitcher and then one hit by pitch from each pitcher. And one of those was Jameer Brown up right now, taking a strike, first pitch he sees.
So I'm going to give credit to the DJ on making that happen.
Post 14 hopes it's the start of a rally with one out. Brown, after the hit by pitch in the first, grounded out to third in the third.
There's that soft contact again.
This is a ground ball over to third base, thrown to first for the second out.
By the way, that was a totally different play there than earlier on the post 14 side, where he's like, hey, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get the guy at second, so I'm just going to throw it over to first.
Yeah. That was part of what kept that inning going for Potomac Valley and got their 3 runs on the board. Now Braden Oviedo steps in with 2 outs and a runner on scoring position, but this is popped up. Owen Reel going over, it hits the top of the dugout. Nearly stayed in play.
A little bit over, though, because that was basically on the backside of that dugout there.
Yeah. Oviedo, a ground out to third and a swinging strikeout so far tonight.
Soft contact makes for good defenses. Post 64 has definitely done a great job at having good defense out there, making good throws over to the base that you need to.
Orndorff up to 75 pitches. Here's his next one. Low for a ball.
Also, at this point in the game, when you're up 3-0, all you want to get to is you're just counting down outs at this point. So that was a good job on the third baseman, just throwing it over to first, get that second out of the inning, and keep counting them down.
4 more outs will do it for Potomac Valley. The 1-1 is out of the zone, up and in. Orndorff comes with it, and it sneaks through the legs of Haar behind the plate. And it took him long enough to find the ball to where, and McClintock rounding third, thinking about home, but he had to stay at third. And this will lead to a mound visit.
I wasn't sure. Did you see that as a pass ball or a wild pitch?
I kind of think it has to be a pass ball.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. I just didn't get a good grip on it. I didn't get a good eye on it.
Yeah, Haar definitely, even after it went by him, couldn't even find it for a second or two. I think he had thought that he blocked it. He was looking for it right at his feet.
By the way, I also think he's in the crouch position, correct? Because I didn't see him with the knee down, because if he would have had the knee down, he would have been, that knee would have blocked that.
I think you're right.
So catchers at home, when you're in the crouch position, you're going to get balls like that sometimes where you don't get down far enough. That's why in the majors and the minors and other baseball leagues, they're telling the catcher to get that one leg down so that pitch doesn't get by.
3-1 the count now to Oviedo, and he's going to foul off this pitch. The Jeopardy music was being used for that mound visit. It's a good excuse to say shout out to Musselman High School English teacher Molly Rakes for being on Jeopardy this week. This one fouled off on the 3-2.
Dylan, how'd she do?
Second place. The dude's on like a 8-game win streak.
Oh,
so he was he was a tough one to try to beat. Here comes another payoff pitch to Oviedo. Breaks inside, and from here, I get the frustration at Hunter Haar and Orndorff on the mound for not getting that call, but Oviedo showing a good eye and good discipline draws ball 4. Definitely my gut was that we were going to get a ring up there for out number 3. But as I mentioned earlier, the catcher is blocking that outside corner.
My gut was telling me that it was a little bit too outside and low to be able to call that a strike.
Well, as a right-handed batter, I guess that's inside corner there. But for us, it's the left side. This is popped up, first pitch swinging by Connor Smith. The third out follows shortly after that walk. So Post 14 will be down to their final 3 outs in the bottom of the 7th. First in the top of the inning, Potomac Valley Post 64 has a chance to add on to their lead 3-0. Take 60 seconds and come back with more American Legion baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Life is evolving. Over the past decade, the way we do almost everything has changed. Get on your phone, see something you like, click on it, and it shows up at your door. Why should the way you have your car serviced be any different? Why waste your time going to a dealership service department when Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to you? They service all makes, all models, and offer full parts and labor warranties. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to your door or office and service your vehicle while you're doing what you need to be doing, conducting that business meeting or mowing the lawn. Why take time out of your busy schedule when you don't have to? Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet's friendly, knowledgeable staff will come to you where you live or where you work for full service maintenance, from oil changes to tire rotations, brakes, batteries, multi-point inspections. They handle it all. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet is committed to delivering the best of the best to their customers. Trust them to service your vehicle where you're at home or at work. Skip the time-consuming and terminal wait at the dealership. Schedule your appointment at fordofhagerstown.com or hancockchevy.com.
We're back for the top of the 7th inning here from P.O. Faulkner Park. Brought to you by L.A. Roberts Jewelers, committed to excellence in quality, design, and craftsmanship, located in historic downtown Martinsburg. 3-0. Post 14 trails Post 64 of Potomac Valley. We'll have our first call to the bullpen brought to you by CMA Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Martinsburg. Stop by and see them today at 48 Kelly Island Road in Martinsburg, or call 304-263-8821. CMA, they're moving lives forward. Jameer Brown's day is done after 6 innings. He gives up 3 runs on 4 hits, 1 walk, strikes out 8. I combine that. It's 7. Strikes out 7. Combine 2 tally marks into 1.
I'm surprised you haven't shouted out the DJ song that they're playing right now, Dixieland Delight. So it's getting me ready for football season coming up soon.
Colton would want me to do an opposite of whatever a shout-out is for playing this song as a Tennessee fan, because they don't speak kindly about Tennessee in the ad-libs to the chorus of that song.
So the question is, are you Team Tennessee or Team Alabama for that one?
I actually do think of, because of my best friend being a Vol fan, Tennessee is probably my second favorite college football team over there. First pitch of the inning is a strike. First pitch from Connor Smith. Next pitch is a ball low. Marshall Derrick has moved from left field to first. And this is lined right over towards Derrick, but foul. Jameer Brown goes from pitcher to shortstop. Wyatt McClintock goes from shortstop to second. And Trace Huff goes from second base to left field.
We've also got Riggleman, the batter. This is his first plate appearance of the evening.
Yes, in the 8th spot here, pinch hitter. Riggleman thought about that one, checks his swing. Adam Riggleman on the right side of the plate steps in against the lefty out of the bullpen, Connor Smith. It's a foul ball. Still 1-2. Two and 2 now. Connor Smith follows. This one bounces in front of Smith as well. So don't confuse yourself. It is Connor Smith throwing to Cole Smith now for post 14. And the full count pitch is low for ball 4. Riggleman in the pinch hit spot draws a leadoff walk. Excuse me, that was in spot of Mason Slade at the bottom of the order, as we now have Blake Jacobs up at the top. Strike is taken. Smith, runner goes. And this is hit well out to left field, but higher than it is far, as Huff is going to be able to get underneath of it and make the catch. Make it 1 for 4 on the day for Blake Jacobs, with the one mattered a lot more than the others, as it was a 2 RBI single.
Yeah, it was grounded right up the middle, so got to the center fielder there.
Lance Orndorff. Only time he's reached base today was by an error. First pitch to him is up high for a ball.
He's had a strikeout and a fly out to center. His other 2 at bats on the evening.
Smith fires this one in low. Smith struggling to throw strikes here early on. Just 11 pitches into his outing now.
We saw the same from Jameer Brown when he was coming in.
Orndorff lets this one go, but it's in for a strike 1. Orndorff, I have to believe, is going to try to go for the complete game shutout in the next half inning.
I would believe that too, because you'd want to save some arms for tomorrow.
Yep.
Especially as a manager, you want to think about everything, so you just don't want to think of, we're just going to sweep this team in 2.
Yeah.
You might have a third game, so you want to save some pitchers there in case it goes 3 games.
2-1 was a ball, and so is 3-1. Orndorff's going to reach on a walk. But runners on first and second with 1 out. James Vinzel will come up. Struck out in the first, singled in the third, hit by a pitch last time up in the 5th. First pitch into him is a strike.
That's big if you want to be. That's big in this spot, especially with runners on first and second. Get ahead of that. Get ahead of the batter.
Smith will look back at second now to the plate. This is fouled back.
We'll see what other pitches that Connor Smith has out there on the mound. Might be playing with them a little bit with being able to have ones that are maybe close to the zone.
0-2 gets away from Smith a bit up high over the head.
You could tell he didn't have good grip on the slider there on that pitch. He after he released it, he was like, he gave the look on being like, yuck, that's disgusting.
1-2. This is low.
I think guys are struggling with the humidity out there right now. I think that's the big thing for your off-speed pitches there, that you aren't getting the grip that you're normally used to getting. And so these off-speed pitches are really hard to grip right now for these guys who aren't used to this type of heat.
Yeah. I mean, even with the sun down here in the press box, we got some fans and an AC blowing. We got the windows and doors open. It's still listed as 97 degrees. And this is a foul tip into the glove for strike 3. Connor Smith gets himself a big out, number 2.
So how this inning's been setting up is a walk, followed by an out, by a walk, and now an out. All these fun things that I love about baseball.
Hunter Haar, he's due up. Hasn't drawn a walk today. He has struck out looking. The RBI fielder's choice in the 3rd. And a fly out to center in the 5th. Check swing. It's low for a ball.
It was low and outside.
Smith, the southpaw, to the plate. Swing and a miss. That runs the count to 1-1. Here's a pitch from Smith. Got him to swing through it for strike 2.
Been just pumping the fastball in there.
1-2 to Haar now. Smith, runner from second, goes to third, and this is up high. Give a stolen base over there to Adam Riggleman.
Batter never even got out of the way to be able to even get him, even try there.
I
think if the catcher would have just thrown it, I think he would have had to go back to second.
Yeah, I think Smith was a little more focused on trying to frame that one. We're now at 2-2. So he had a little bit of a hesitation before the thought to throw over to third. It was too late at that point. And that's a swing and a miss.
That's back-to-back A's.
Out number 3, Connor Smith is able to keep Potomac Valley at bay with just 3 runs up on the board. So that is what Post 14 will try to make up in the bottom of the inning after the 60-second break. This is American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
When you're looking for the perfect gift, look no further than L.A. Roberts Jewelers at 146 North Queen Street in downtown Martinsburg. Choose from a huge selection of unique items, from the finest diamonds that make your eyes sparkle to exquisite timepieces, figurines, and collectibles. Buying from L.A. Roberts Jewelers means that you've made the decision to do business with people who've excelled in the industry for more than 100 years. They'll be here tomorrow when you need them, and if you need your jewelry or your watch repaired, they'll do that too. L.A. Roberts in downtown Martinsburg. Old World Jewelers for a new age.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Post 14 Hornets trail 3-0 with 3 outs to go here in the bottom of the 7th inning from P.O. Faulkner Park. Dylan Bishop and Tyler Strine with you on the call. Colton Musgrove, our on-site producer. Skylar High producing back at the studio. Aaron Byler gives me a pat on the back as he walks out of the press box here. And Ethan Elliott and Brady Masters back behind the cameras. That's what I get. Coach Byler throwing me off like that.
You gotta be in the zone, Dylan.
Need to be. Bottom of the 7th inning, right? And Martinsburg's baseball coach trying to throw me off my game here with just 3 outs to go potentially. And Lance and Orndorff trying to go for a complete game shutout. They'll have to work against Marshall Derrick, Jet Gross, and Cole Smith. Impressive outing from Orndorff. 6 innings, he's given up just 3 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, no runs allowed.
That contact that he has been giving up too has even been soft, so it's nothing too big, nothing too massive that guys are getting good bats on or anything. So he's keeping the contact low to be able to get his defense to be able to work for him a little bit when it does get through, and the defense has been sharp so far. So I'm loving what I'm seeing from Post 64 defensively, and then also from Orndorff on the mound there.
So looking out at the outfield, it looks like that's Adam Riggleman now in center for Post 64. We had 2 pinch hitters. Looks like they're both in the outfield now. It's Potomac Valley tries to close this one out. First pitch of the 7th is a strike to Marshall Derrick. Derrick struck out looking in the 2nd, grounded into a double play in the 4th. He hits this one in the 5.5 hole. Base hit in the left field, and that could potentially start the rally here in the 7th for Post 14.
I'm not really going to call that yet because we've seen that Post 14 has gotten the runner on first, and then so we'll see if they get the rally going. Jet Gross up at the plate here. We'll see if he can help his speed a little bit.
Gross 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts, swings through the first pitch.
I would maybe think about just putting a bunt down, and not even a sacrifice bunt for him, just a regular bunt, and then see what you can do about getting on, or maybe getting a throw from a catcher or something to go over the head of the first baseman.
Vincel hasn't pushed himself very far into third base. And, this is a base hit right up the middle. Gross sends it back where it came from.
Okay, how much do I know? I don't mind being humbled by guys that know baseball more than I do.
Jet Gross, one of the stars for Jefferson High School over the last couple of seasons, hitting 7th in this order, and that just tells you the strength of the Berkeley Post 14 order. A guy like Jet Gross isn't your leadoff hitter. His teammate is from high school, Liam Healy.
That's what I was wondering. Sorry.
ball into Cole Smith to start his at-bat.
That's what I was wondering, too, about Gross should be your top hitter, because I feel like his speed would definitely be able to work out there in the first.
It's hard to go wrong with the choices in the post-14 lineup. Here comes Cole Smith. He hits this one into center field. It looks like Tysinger is going to be able to range it back and get it. He does. Derek not going to third to tag up. So Orndorff lets up 2 base runners, 2 singles to start off this 7th, but he's got just 2 more outs to get now.
That pitch kind of getting up there at 87 right now. Well, 88 pitches.
So it's number 9 in the order for post 14. The tying run in the batter's box.
As we hear fireworks go off.
Huff struck out swinging in the 3rd, grounded out to 3rd in the 5th. Huff looking to square around the bunt. Owen real close coming in towards home plate. He saw it coming. And it looks like they're going to try to get the lead runner at 3rd if he gets one down. Huff stabs at this and misses it. That's a strike. Going to get that bunt down. He's trying to push it over to 3rd base.
So the fireworks show that we're seeing are just flares out here.
1-1 count. Here's the pitch. And there's that breaking pitch on the outside corner.
We can see him out the press box door. If you look out there, you've got the fireworks show. Now they're starting to turn into some good fireworks.
Someone's got some leftover fireworks for July 15th, I guess. Swing and a miss. Trace Huff goes down swinging. Post 14 down to their last out.
All I'm saying is, the fireworks should have waited until after the game was over, so we could have gotten post-game fireworks. Someone needs to go tell that person to chill it out for just a second and let us enjoy fireworks after this.
Post 14 needs this game to switch around with just down to their final out. They want to be able to celebrate with some fireworks after this one. But here's a strike into Liam Healy to start the at-bat. That's 93 pitches for Orndorff. Healy, 1 for 3. Singled in the 3rd. And he pushes this one, lines it right at James Vincel, the 3rd baseman, for the final out of the game. Potomac Valley post 64 moves 1 win away from being the 2026 area champions. That'll be decided tomorrow in what could be a doubleheader. Post 64 wins tomorrow, there's no need for a second game. But if Post 14 wins, we got to go to a tiebreaker. Decide the best 2 out of 3. Let's take a 2-minute break, come back with a post-game show here from P.O. Faulkner Park. This is American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Car accident? Get more with Mansion. If you've been hurt in a car accident, time is critical. You've got car repairs, legal deadlines, and medical treatment that can't wait. The sooner you call Mansion Injury Law, the sooner we can help you. Because memories fade, evidence gets lost, and photos can't be retaken. You only get one chance. Let us help you make things right. Get more with Mansion. Call 1-800-557-4LAW.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Welcome into the post-game show on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10, brought to you by the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg, with a full lunch and dinner menu with daily specials and a clean and comfortable atmosphere. Check out the menu on the Palace Lounge Facebook page. Well, it's 2 in a row that we've had on the broadcast that is a loss for Post 14. 3-0, Potomac Valley. Post 64 gets out in front in this best 2 of 3 for the area championship. Tyler, the Post 14 batch, just couldn't get it going today.
Well, I mean, neither could Potomac Valley either. But actually, interesting stat on the night, Post 14 actually out-hit Post 64 5 hits to 4.
You're right. And they just couldn't drive them in.
But I think the game changer on this one, bats offensively wise, was the fact it was the walks, it was the errors that just sunk Post 14 in this one. So if they can get that defense, if they can get the defense going a little bit better and make better decisions out there defensively, I think tomorrow they'll have better luck.
Today's Mansion Injury Law Group game scoring summary is an easy one for you. There was 3 runs in the top of the 3rd inning by Potomac Valley Post 64, and that was it.
Yep.
No runs the rest of the game. The Mansion Injury Law Group in Martinsburg, where it's about seeking justice for you, go to mansioninjurylaw.com. We'll get you some game stats here. For Potomac Valley Post 64, there's a 2-run RBI single for Blake Jacobs in that 3rd inning, as well as an RBI fielder's choice for Hunter Haar to get those 3 runs up on the board. Runs scored by Owen Reel, Mason Slade, and Blake Jacobs. And on their pitching side, it was a complete game shutout for Lance and Orndorff. 7 innings, gives up no runs on 5 hits and 2 walks, and strikes out 5. On the other side for Post 14, Jameer Brown goes 6 innings, gives up 3 runs on 4 hits and 1 walk, and strikes out 7. Connor Smith pitches the 7th. Strikes out 2 and walks 3, but gives up no runs. And in terms of batting, there wasn't a whole lot of highlights today for Post 14. Liam Healy got himself a single. Cole Smith had himself a single. Connor Smith had one. Singles from Marshall Derrick and Jet Gross, and that about does it. So that really just leaves us with a pretty easy decision for Tyler for Player of the Game, brought to you by Parsons Ford at 1400 Shepherdstown Road and online at parsonsford.com. They became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
All right, so I'm going to give it to the pitcher for Post 64. That's Lanson Orndorff at 7 innings pitched, 5 hits, and 5 strikeouts. So he didn't give up a single run all game.
Yep.
As I was saying throughout the broadcast, he was making soft contact even when they did get hits. Like, there wasn't a lot of hard contact. So if you're gonna get easy defensive plays, you want your pitcher pitching the soft contact there.
94 pitches to go the distance and pitch a shutout. And like you said,
saves the arms for tomorrow.
Exactly. Strikes out 5, walks 2, 1 hit by a pitch, gives up 5 hits, no runs. So that wraps us up here from P.O. Faulkner Park tonight. Tomorrow, you may have at some point heard that game starts at 5. Starts at 5:30, and they're doing that obviously in case they need a second one. Second one could be over at a reasonable time. So 5:30 one game. If Post 64 wins, that's it. Post 64 is the area champions. If Post 14 wins, we play another one to decide the area champion right after that first one.
So for Post 14 with this one, just throw this one out to a good pitching performance for Morendorf and see what you can do about getting the bats going tomorrow.
Yeah. So for Kyler High back at the studio, Brady Masters and Ethan Elliott behind the cameras tonight, Colton Musgrove, our on-site producer, and Tyler Strine on color next to me. I'm Dylan Bishop saying so long from P.O. Faulkner Park. This has been American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday night.
You've been tuned into American Legion Baseball for the continued excitement of high school, college, and Major League Baseball. Keep it tuned to 106.5 FM, AM 740, Comcast Cable Channel 10, and online at talkradiowrnr.com.